with 2 points. Foul call on number 2, Kobe Davis, his first 17 foul moving to north out of bounds to the Mustangs. Foul call number 5, Nick Golson, his first 13 foul moving to north out of bounds, Edgewood. Jump ball call, possession back to Edgewood. And after 1 quarter of play, moving to north 13, Edgewood 8. Moving to north, we'll have the ball to begin the second quarter. Kobe Davis. Foul call number 22, Garrett Marcus, his first. 13 foul on Edgewood, out of bounds with the north. Christian Woods on the assist from Ben Cochran. Spencer Packer, 2-point basket. ball to call, possession stays with Edgewood, substitution into the game for Mustangs. Skylar Curtis. Skylar Curtis, 2 points. Jump ball to call, possession stays with Bloomington North. Timeout call, Bloomington North. Foul call number 12, Zach Good is first. 16 foul. Cougars on the line shooting 2. Houston Holmes. Substitution in the game for the North, 21 Cameron Chase, replacing Jack Cochran. Edgewood. Three-point basket, good. Noah Spencer. Foul call number 12, Zach Good. Zach 17 foul on the line shooting 2. Houston Holmes. Substitution in the game, Kyle Rogers. Rogers replacing Holmes. Sam Weaver and one. Foul call on number 22, Derek Parkinson's first team foul. Into the game for Edgewood. Number 42, Austin Schwartz on the line shooting one. Sam Weaver. Conklin on the assist for Nick Dolson. Cooper back for 3 points. Cooper Packer, 2 points. Three-point basket good. Jared Sparky. Timeout, Logan North. Foul call number 3, Kyle Rogers, his third. 13th foul on Edgewood on the line, shooting 2 at a time. Traveling call, turnover to the Cougars. Three-point basket good at time. with the basket. Timeout Edgewood.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bloomington High School North, where we've got a county matchup tonight on Thursday night ball game with the girls playing in sectional. What we've got tonight is the Edgewood Mustangs here in the Cougar Den on Tom McKinney Court. A matchup between the Mustangs at 13-7, Cougars only 7-7. Not sure why they have such a discrepancy in number of games, but they do. And my name is Jeff Ake, and I am joined by Adam Terwilliger.
Hello, hello.
A fellow teacher here at North. He does the math, I'm the social studies. So, Adam, what do you see? Anything in the stats you've looked at? Anything? Thoughts of tonight's game?
Well, Jeff, just a couple, and they're the ones that you mentioned just before the game. Interestingly enough, according to the rankings, we're just one apart on the state level, according to Max Preps.
According to Max Preps, North is at 110 and Edgewood at 111. Obviously different classes, different sizes of schools, but that's where Max Prep has them.
So if the rankings of Max Preps have anything to do with it, we should be looking for a pretty even matchup tonight and a pretty good one. Hopefully we have a good one for y'all to see at home tonight.
And according to Andy Graham, the HT reporter, he said in his short little preview of today's game that it probably is going to be a lot of three-pointers, so we will see if he is correct on that. I sure know the Cougars like to throw up three-pointers quite a bit. All of their starters, with the exception of Logan Calvin, put up a number of threes every game, and we'll see what Edgewood is going to do as well.
Well, that does seem to be the style these days, run and gun and 3-and-D, right?
That's right. Neither team very large, tall. I think the tallest player out there is going to be Musa Jallo at 6'6". So both schools, not a lot of height, more guard play than anything else. So definitely they are going to be shooting from the outside, you're going to think. So right now we have PA announcer Kelly Smith announcing, welcoming everyone here. We'll have the national anthem coming up shortly. So really, tonight's game we are hoping for, with the Thursday night, going to have a good midweek ball game that's going to be quite competitive for both sides. So we're going to stop and enjoy the national anthem, and we'll be back on the other side. All right, that was the Cougar pep band playing, filled with the North students playing. And I want to also mention BHSN TV, totally student operated. All the camera workers tonight are students. The directors are students. For some reason, they let two teachers come up and be on air being commentators for some reason. But we're happy they do, because we get a chance to call the game, and we enjoy that.
And I had a chance to go down and check out our setup here prior to the game, Jeff, and we, not to brag, but we have an excellent, excellent setup, and what an investment the school has made in our kids and our equipment, and it is really top rate.
Yeah, it really is. It's almost like they've got their own, it's not a truck, but the setup they have is reminiscent of what you think a truck would be. Starting lineups for both sides, the Mustangs led by Cooper Bybee. He is I believe, let's see, what year is Cooper?
Cooper is a senior this year, 6'1".
6'1" senior with a 23.5 scoring average. Also joined in by Chayton Howard, 11.5 scores. or points a game. Joe Kaido, Cameron Bannister, and Jason Brown rounding out the Mustang lineup. For the Cougars, Liam Wilkerson starts at guard. Sean Rudder also at guard. Third guard is Tim Brewster. Wilkerson is a junior, Rudder a senior, but Brewster is a freshman. Logan Calvin, a senior in the middle, and then the star of the North team, obviously Musa Jallo, averaging 25.2 a game. When you look at his production in most categories, he's leading the conference in most categories. Quite the basketball player, pretty good athlete, and he definitely works hard to improve his game pretty much daily when you see him in the gym.
And rightfully so, I believe, highly coveted college recruit, Mr. Aiken.
He is signed a letter of intent, I believe, with IU, but we'll see where that goes. And I know a lot of other schools would like to steal him away. Cougars win the tip. Tim Brewster, now that's Musa Jallo. Sean Rudder. Jallo cutting across, that's Logan Calvin up inside. Up and in for two. Logan did not put up many shots last game, but he starts this game with 2 points.
Gotta like seeing them break the zone like that, passing that in the middle.
Nice trapping, too. Long pass gets over the head of the Cougars, though. Logan Calvin a step late. That basket by number 24, Chayton Howard.
Chayton Howard.
We will definitely be better with the North players' names than the Edgewood players' names. That's just the way it's going to be.
Chayton, a 6'5" junior.
He converts on the old-fashioned three-point play.
The Cougars looking to run it.
Cougars definitely play the up-tempo game. They do have Jallo, once again, the tallest player on the court, but probably the best ball handler.
Looks like Edgewood's committed to that 2-3 zone. We'll see where that goes as the game goes on, but.
Boy, and they've extended it out pretty far. Wilkerson well beyond the top of the key, being harassed by number 2. That's Joe Kaido, I think is how you say that. Joe only 5'5", but definitely a defensive impediment for the Cougars right now.
Little gnat in the floor.
There you go. Looks like they're going to now call Logan Calvin on his second foul. We are only a minute 10 into the game, and Logan already with 2.
Well, you know, the Cougars out there are just getting tons of pressure into the zone, but, you know, it seems like they're having a tough time finishing. That's now 3 tips in the last 2 possessions out of Edgewood, so they're really in and out of the defensive picture and making havoc for the North Cougars tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be disrupting the pass lanes, getting the deflections. See what the Cougars can do on the defensive end. Kaido, again, only at 5'5", able to go all the way down the lane. Little indecision by the referee, and he ends up saying it'll stay at that end.
Yeah, Kaido showing some grit going on the floor like that. He's definitely not afraid of the action down there.
No, he was fearless as he entered into the lane. That is Kaido now dribbling outside. Takes a three-pointer. No good. Off to Ethan Venzel. He's the one who came in for Logan Calvin. Jallo down. Kind of did a little crossover. Got Kaido probably for
hand
like
check or
his
something.
first.
Yeah.
Just heard Kelly Smith call him Keto, so.
Well, Keto, Kaido.
I'll try to remember Keto.
We do the best we can at home, folks.
That's right.
Just remember, we try hard.
Tim Brewster in the corner. That is good for 3.
Nice look, too. Had a lot of time for that one. Good passing by the Cougars.
Going to call over and back on that. Tim Brewster disrupting that play. With the addition of Venzel into the lineup for Calvin, all 5 players for the Cougars are quite competent at hitting three-pointers.
And Brewster's just a freshman, too. A lot of poise to go back and D like that and cause the turnover.
Yeah, that was, you know, gutsy move. One of those things, maybe as a freshman, he just doesn't even know any better, so he does those things. Brewster now Wilkerson. That's Ethan Venzel. Sean Rudder, the senior. Steps there by Brewster.
Can't do that.
No.
Not unless you're in the NBA.
In the NBA, I think you get 4 extras.
4.5 and
and then the 2.
And then the 2.
Yeah.
And then the 2.
But Brewster shuffled his feet on that one. Keto able to get it across. Some good passing by Edgewood. Good fundamentals there. However, ball tipped out. Going to be the Cougar basketball.
Cougars got to work on boxing out now. That's at least 3 rebounds they've given up, or what would have been. Lucky they got the turnover on that.
They've had trouble with that, with the whole idea of getting, you know, coming out of, they usually employ a zone, so when they try to then man up with someone, get a body on them, it's hard to find them. Jallo
careless
tried to pass,
turnover.
just was not going to work. Right idea, but just wasn't going to happen with the execution.
Oh, excellent hands there by number 12.
Yeah, Liam Wilkerson able to steal that ball away. Over again to Brewster over on the wing.
Well,
he
got the high
drills
hand.
another one.
And that's the same play too. They're just whipping it around, and you know, two ways to beat a zone. You either dump it in the middle or you have hot shooters, and 23 is doing it for us right now.
Right, you either go deep inside or you shoot over it. So again, Cooper Bybee, number 14, is the he's right there committing the foul against Jallo. He's been their big scorer. Again, coming in at a 23.6 average. Only a couple of points behind Musa Jallo's 25-point average. We do have some substitutions for Edgewood. Number 12, Curtis Cowden into the game. 22, Jace Collier. I think he was a starter.
It looks like they're putting a little bit more height in there right now. Let's see what that does for them on defense. But they've been playing pretty decent. Just a couple of threes have burned them, but
they sure are quick.
Yes, they are.
They are able to get into the passing lanes and disrupt it. So, again, maybe the Cougars do need to use the strategy of going over the zone rather than trying to go into it. There's a long pass. Brewster, who's had the hot hand, to Wenzel.
Well, Edgewood's,
Jallo putting up a three.
Excuse me, Mr. Aiken. They're not letting Musa beat us, or Musa beat them, pardon me. They're double teaming him every time. They got a guy shading him.
I got to say, when that was a nice steal again by Liam Wilkerson, although Keto trying to get it back. I had to say, watching the Cougars over the course of the season, they're at their best when Musa isn't the focus of the team. When he kind of plays a team role, and then when they do collapse on him, he's able to find more. When he takes those long shots is usually when Cougars end up having some trouble. Keto a little shaken up on that.
Yeah, it just looked like a little innocent, collision there. I think he's going to be okay. He walked that off going to the sidelines.
He was going to come out anyway with his second foul, even less than halfway through the first quarter. So already two players, one for each side, on the bench with fouls. Logan Calvin for the Cougars and Keto. So pretty much polar opposites there. You got the big, huge size of Logan Calvin and the little player of Keto.
Rudder had the right idea.
Yep. Sean tried to dribble in and put up the shot for no avail. That is number 12. That was Curtis Cowden. Unable to keep control of his dribble.
Edgewood just doesn't seem like they really found their offense tonight, Jeff. It seems like, they've really been fast and furious, but haven't really found much of their plays.
Right, and having not watched them, that might be more their style, although their scoring average isn't incredibly high at 64 points a game. So I wouldn't think the frenetic style is their way to play. There's Brewster again, off to the left that time.
Well, that would have went in. He would have been on fire in NBA Jam. So that's unfortunate the crowd doesn't get to see that tonight.
Yeah, that would have been fun to see. That is Tate Balcom with the ball. Guarded by Sean Rudder. Then Chayton Howard's 24. I'm always person behind now already. Jace Collier.
Well, they're just passing too fast for us, Jeff.
But they're not getting any closer to the basket, which is a good sign for the Cougars. Rudder, nice defense. Containing more than anything else. That's Bybee, and wow, he was able to come off that screen. Cooper Bybee with a three-point shot.
Well, that was bound to happen. As Dan Dockage always likes to say, water finds its level, and they were bound to make that. That was going to go in at some point or another. Cougars, they're fighting it. Edgewood seems to be, slipping into something here.
Yeah, you knew, looking at the stat sheet, again, having not seen him play, Bybee's 23.5-point average sure stands out at you. And that play right there let you know why he's got that kind of average. Came off the screen, top of the key, and just drilled a three-pointer. So we got 8-6, 2:50 left to go in the first quarter. Once again, enjoying the sounds of the Cougar Pep Band.
And I understand it's a rare Thursday appearance for the Cougar Pep Band tonight.
I have to say, I was surprised when I saw them start coming in with their instruments, but glad to have them here. Always adds to the atmosphere.
Shout out to some teachers in the crowd tonight. Looks like some North Faithful come out.
All right.
Mr. DeJulia, Mrs. Leonard, Dr. Mobley. We welcome everybody.
That's right. Mr. Henderson and Mr. Abel down on the court in their usual court seats. There's Sean Rudder now with the 3. Again, if the Cougars get hot with a 3, it's going to be hard to beat.
And they're getting pretty good looks, too. These aren't bad shots they're taking.
Yeah, not contested. Tim Brewster almost with the steal. That is Bybee from deep. I think the Cougars will be just fine with him shooting that deep.
Yeah, you like them taking that shot. He's not, unless your name is S. Curry. That's it's a pretty good shot for the Cougars.
Cameron Bannister there was able to get the ball underneath and then throw it off one of the Cougars. Bybee will inbound. You wonder if they're going to do the inbound and get it right back to him. They don't. Boy, on that play, Bannister just lost his balance. Ball up to Rudder. Rudder able to draw a foul there. He's kind of trying to do the secondary break off to Wenzel, but.
And 4 got back on late on defense that time, so he made up for it by fouling, which is never a good way to make up for being late.
Nope, that just makes it kind of worse. That was Tate Balcom. He's the number 4. Again, we will do our best to learn names, but no promises.
Musa with a good slice in the middle there.
Unable to hit the first shot and the follow. I don't think Musa's scored yet, and the Cougars have 11.
Always a good sign, as you said, Jeff.
Yeah, not saying leave him out of the game, but when he's not the focal point, it helps the Cougars. That foul is on Rudder, his first. Cougars' 4th of the half. Sorry, 3rd of the half. Nice drive there by Chayton Howard.
That was really the first time I saw them motion everyone to the other side to clear out a pathway for him.
Nice clear out there for Jallow, able to come in, make the play, avoid the defender. That was Howard trying to be in his way, but Musa, enough of an athlete to get out of the way.
Nice pressure by the Cougars.
Nice play. Ethan Wenzel onto the court. Ball up to Liam Wilkerson, but short on the layup. And then on that play, Wilkerson tried to get the ball back, but he did not establish himself back in bounds. So out of bounds on the Cougars.
Frenetic pace now. It's picking up.
Yeah, Jason Brown re-enters for Edgewood, number 20. Well, that was a nice steal. Ethan Wenzel giving up the body, diving on the court, but Liam Wilkerson just left that layup short.
Well, Coach Hodson seems to be pretty content with us doing the full court press this evening.
It's been effective. That was Tate Balcom for 3. There's no doubt I think the Mustangs can be able to shoot their way back into it. They can sure hit the 3s too. Looked like Wenzel had Brewster open in the corner, but bypassed it to go to Jallow. That's Wilkerson, just pocket picked by Balcom. Balcom down to Bybee. Bybee pocket picked right back.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? There it is.
Here we go. Brewster off to Wenzel. Wenzel about a step back from the line, but didn't matter. He nails his 3-point shot.
What a gritty sequence by the Cougars. Sean Rudder pulls an excellent play.
Boy, he just ripped that ball away from Bybee. I don't know if Bybee's used to that kind of thing happening. Tim Brewster now in the passing lane. Nice crossover spin, up and in for 2. Tim Brewster.
He's putting himself together a heck of a quarter.
Yeah, he's got 8 of the 18 already for the Cougars, and he is a freshman. As the Cougar student section is letting Edgewood know.
Well,
that seemed like Bybee a little out of control and just threw that up and luckily got a foul on his part.
Got to hate rewarding them on some hero ball, but I don't really know how else we could have defended that. That was a little awkward.
Yeah, Cooper Bybee just kind of got up in the air and did some herky-jerkies and just threw it up and got the call, shooting 2 free throws. He shoots at 80% from the line. That, I believe, was his 100th free throw make of the year.
Excellent stat. It is indeed.
If I can add 99 and 1 right, I think I did it.
Yes, sir.
However, he stays on 100 free throws, misses the second.
Likes even numbers, Jeff.
That's right. Only 5 seconds to go. Jallow kind of taking his time.
Got to get shot off.
Kind of a low pass. He took his time with that, and then the pass was not a good pass. Kind of changed direction there by the Mustangs, not letting Ethan Wenzel have much to work with. But end of the first quarter, Cougars up by 6, 18-12. So far, I would say both teams trying to work into their thing. Edgewood just seems a little more out of pace right now.
Yeah, Edgewood's just not in their offense. I don't think really North is either. But to North's credit, we're making the shots. They're not making them. We've had the better of the 50-50s so far. We're getting the breaks, and that's why the score is 18-12.
I'd say, a big difference is the fact looked like two things that looked like plays the Cougar ran to the corner for Brewster for his three-pointers. I don't think Edgewood really has run much of a set of anything. I think they've come across with Cougars doing the press and then just trying to get to the basket. I did just see Joe Keto. He was heading to the Edgewood locker room with a trainer, so he a little more than just a bump on whatever took him out of the game.
Well, it's hard to tell from up here. He was limping on the way off. It was a good sign that he made it off on his own, but you hate to see that.
So as we begin the second quarter, it will be Mustang basketball. We'll see if they can get themselves going into any kind of rhythm. I think Keto is their point guard, so having him out is not going to help that situation. Oof. That was a nice block there by Liam Wilkerson on Cameron Bannister. Kept pace with him and then just was able to knock that shot away.
Well, if Edgewood's going to do it, they're not going to do it that way. They got to come up with something a little bit better than the every now and again drive at the middle. They have to sustain something better.
And no doubt, something the Cougars, wow, that ball is going to go.
Well, looks like it was off a North player. Nope.
No, they're calling that it's for Edgewood. The referee was right there. To me, it looked like it was off the Cougars, but we're quite a ways away. There's a reason the referee doesn't sit up here. So he had the better angle. He was right on top of it and emphatically made the call that was Cougar basketball.
Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't like indecision on his part. David Morgan into the game for the Cougars. He comes off the bench, but is our fourth leading scorer. Tim Brewster unable to connect there. Musa Jallo fighting for it. That ball is going to end up with the Mustangs.
Well, that was some good sustained offense on our end. We are doing pretty well passing around the three-point line. Doesn't seem like seems like we're content to just kind of let that be the way we play the zone tonight.
Well, with a lead, why not? Work and wait and get your best shot. Nice tip there by Wilkerson, able to control. Three-pointer no good by Howard. Rebound to Wenzel.
Wenzel's really cleaning up the boards this evening. At least 3 defensive rebounds tonight.
He came in as a freshman pretty much. That's Musa Jallo adding his 3 to the parade. Getting back to Wenzel, he came in as a freshman pretty much known as a shooter, but he has worked a lot on all aspects of his game. And again, he was the first man off the bench when Calvin was in foul trouble.
He's focused and furious down there. Caused another disruption to
nice steal by David Morgan. He's going to go up all the way himself.
Talk about a hard worker. That's David Morgan. He's in the gym first thing every morning.
He is a rat. He is a gym rat for sure. He is in there every chance he can get. Cougars have jumped that lead now to 11, 23-12. However, a foul there on Musa Jallo, only his first. Musa sometimes has the problem of getting himself into a little bit of foul trouble. Let's hope he avoids that. You mentioned earlier that the Edgewood success is not going to be going to the middle, because one thing is Musa Jallo will be in the middle blocking anything that comes his way.
That was Chayton Howard on that one. That, I believe, was his first 3 of the game.
He is their second leading scorer. So, yeah, I believe that was his first.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Wilkerson gets underneath, but wow, nice block there by Howard.
Just made an excellent play. Driving around the outside there, found some daylight going on the baseline. Just unfortunately, number 20 closed in on him a little bit too quickly and blocked that one out of bounds.
Checking into the game, freshman Jack Townsend. He is actually the Cougars' third leading scorer, but comes off the bench. The reason he is the third leading scorer is this kid can shoot the threes. Liam Wilkerson a little too hard on that. Musa Jallo, though.
Musa playing big man ball out there.
Yeah, he ripped that ball away. It's like, nope, that is my ball. Sean Rudder underneath the basket, kicks it to Townsend. That's going to go up. Oh, no good for Townsend. Usually when he's that wide open, it is almost automatic. Nice hustle there by Musa Jallo again, though, to have the ball go off a Mustang. So Cougars will retain possession. 8-point lead, just under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Townsend drives, across the lane, gets it to Jallo, but then probably a foolish pass inside, tipped away.
Not been an area of success tonight.
Bybee goes up with another circus shot, but Musa Jallo left his feet, and I think that was a mistake. Might have just drawn his second. He did.
Too many risky passes there by the Cougars. We need some penetration and some kicks, I think, if we're going to sustain a little bit more offense. On the Edgewood side, you know, they're running some more here, plays down the middle. Again, I think with Musa in there, it's not really helping. But they have to find success somewhere, and it's not happening so far in any one of their sets.
It sure looks like Cooper Bybee, their leading scorer, is perfectly comfortable with the circus shots. So we might be seeing a lot more of that. I do know now with Musa Jallo going to the bench, Cougars are much smaller, pretty much have a 5-guard lineup in there right now. There's really no one who even approaches forward status out there right now. But with the Edgewood Mustangs not being a very big team either, it's not like there's a huge height differential. For them, number 20, Jason Brown, looks like the biggest guy out there.
Missed opportunity, 31 was wide open for just a hot second.
Wilkerson out to Townsend.
Good motion on our
Townsend
offense.
drives in. Rudder to the corner. Now Brewster. Brewster, they're going to call traveling on
one
that.
Too many. Yeah, one too many. But excellent motion by the Cougars that time. That's the most I've seen them really break up the Edgewood defense, which even though up 7, they've been really scrappy tonight. And I think the more composed defensive side.
Well, and with a 7-point lead, they have time to be patient. We do see now Joe Quito back in the game for the Mustangs.
Good sign for them. You don't want to see an injury no matter what.
No. He's the ball handler, but back onto the floor. Seems to be a little limp to him still. That foul is on Sean Rudder, his second. So 3 Cougars now with 2 fouls. Edgewood already into the bonus. So Joe Quito is going to head to the line. Quito shooting a 73% from the free throw line. Wenzel in for Rudder with those 2 fouls.
It's a lot of time for them to be in the bonus.
Yeah, over 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes here in the second quarter, and they're going to be in the 1-and-1 for a couple of fouls and then on to the double bonus.
So look for Edgewood to be more aggressive. You know, I've been joking around about how they've been driving and nothing's been happening, but now it's where they get rewarded for it.
So Quito very calmly swishes both free throws. So 23-18, 5-point game. Brewster with the ball. Wenzel. Townsend in the corner. Townsend a little off tonight. Brewster, I think his toe was on the line. Nice athletic try. Would have had it into the hands of Wenzel, but.
Well, it was a good look. He did have a wide open angle there from the corner, just didn't connect.
So let's see what's going to happen now. Chayton Howard, he is 6'5", so he is going to be easily the tallest person out on the court. We'll see if Edgewood decides to take advantage of that. Howard tall, but not a large presence width-wise.
Edgewood breaks the press pretty well there.
There, in fact, he takes a three-pointer. No good. Brewster eventually corralling the rebound. Checked by Bybee. Over to Wenzel. I'd like to see David Morgan do some driving, but Tim Brewster going to do the driving instead. Ball's blocked out of bounds.
Brewster's got to look to kick there. You got 4 guys collapsing on Edgewood, and it's almost been that way every time we've driven.
That's a recognition thing. When you see that, hey, I'm surrounded, if there are 3-4 guys around you, somebody's open.
Edgewood knows it too. They're content to just know we're doing it and wait to make us make them pay.
Yep. Brewster there coming in from the wing to Wenzel. Wenzel along 3, and it's good. Second three-pointer now for Wenzel.
Like to think that's a reward for all the grit on the other side.
Right. Again, he came in known as a shooter, but he's worked on a lot of things, but can still shoot. Bybee, again, somewhat of a circus player, able to go up and put it in.
That was one heck of a play. One heck of an individual effort there.
I'm guessing he spent a lot of time in the gym himself doing shots like that one. We have a foul on the Mustangs. Number 10, Cameron Bannister, a sophomore. Only the 5th team foul for the Mustangs. Inside, Wenzel inside, up and no good. But Liam Wilkerson going to get called for going over the back. Kind of a silly foul there.
Didn't have to do that. Did think we had a couple guys that might have boxed out, but hindsight's 2020. I almost
Right.
said 50-50.
Almost.
Coin flip's 50-50. Hindsight's 2020.
So at the line is number 10, Cameron Bannister. 2 free throws, 1 and 1 for him. In fact, he misses the first.
Got to connect on those if you're Edgewood. Down 6.
Yeah, you want to, anytime you're behind, you want to score points when the clock stops, but they did not connect. Wenzel, a little bit of traffic, gets it to Morgan. Morgan, circuit shot of his own. Again, he spends a lot of time in the gym. That's something I'm sure he has practiced.
A little bit lucky we didn't get called for a little hook there. Morgan did do a little bit of that, but ref didn't see it. Up 8 are the Cougars.
That's Bybee from the wing, no good. Bannister with the rebound. Wenzel probably a little too aggressive there. Yeah, they're going to call that on Ethan Wenzel.
Back to David Morgan. That was one of the first times I think I have seen a little bit of aggression like that down there. He really cleared a pathway for himself.
David's the kind of player, too, Musa has this, too. They get the ball, it seems to slow down. Things seem to just slow down when they have the ball. Like they just see the game a little different. So with Ethan Wenzel's second foul, he's now to the bench. Junior Nick Dolson, who logs a lot of minutes on the JV team, going to get some action here with the varsity. 1 and 1 now for Cameron Bannister. Missed the first end last time, and he does this time. I was going to say that had to be a foul on Jason Brown there.
I was waiting for the whistle. That didn't blow, Jeff. I would have said the ref's vision would have been 50-50. How about that one?
He was definitely over the back on that. A nice athletic play, but you're going to get called on that almost every time.
Well, up 8 if you're the Cougars. I think you're content to kind of close this out a little bit, you know. I mean, we've been doing well so far, but don't want to see a careless turnover.
But Jack Townsend decides to go from about 4 feet beyond the line and hits that one. I think that was his problem. He was too close shooting before.
Keep doing it. Bottle it up and keep it going.
That's right. And Cougars definitely working hard on the defensive end. See, they're going to call the block on that. Again, Bybee's just that kind of player. He'll just go flying in.
He's awkward. He's hard to defend. I mean, he's so slippery down there. He's throwing us off on the defensive end for sure.
So with 2:51 to go, Cougars are now putting the Mustangs in the double bonus. Bybee does hit the first one.
I'm going to call him Mr. Stop and Go because that seems to be everything he's doing. I mean, he's so unpredictable down there.
And boy, he just gets, and then it's kind of like all arms and legs flailing around. He rattles the second one in to make it a 9-point lead for the Cougars with 2:48 to go. Dolson over to Morgan. Morgan just looking to see if he can penetrate into that. Edgewood looks like still in that zone. Townsend has the ball. He tried to pull it back over his head, able to get it back though.
Got to kick out on that.
Yeah, he put the ball behind his head, and that was not a smart move. See what Morgan, he sees a little lane. Doesn't take much for David Morgan to see a lane.
Or travel, carrying.
They're going to call it carry, yeah. He saw his opportunity, and I think
telegraphed it a little too much, didn't he?
He did. He kind of, in order to get moving that direction, had to carry the ball. It doesn't take much of an opening, though, for David Morgan to try to exploit it.
He made his mind up. He was not going to take anything different than going to the basket on that one.
Nope.
Cougars pressing again. This seems to be working so far. Let's see. Left the guy open.
There we go. David Morgan with the rebound. I got to say, going to say that was off Morgan. I could not see it from where we are, student section, which I got to say, pretty happy with a good Thursday night student section now tonight.
Student body coming out tonight in full force.
But with 5 guards on the floor, hey, why not be pressing? Use that quickness. See where this foul is going to go.
Well, I like the press, Jeff. You know, what it's doing is it's causing a little bit more frenetic down the floor, and frenetic's not been working very well for Edgewood. They're getting down there 1,000 miles an hour and just taking really awkward and low percentage shots.
Yeah, they are not putting up shots that are going to typically go in. That foul did go against Jason Brown, his second. So Tim Brewster at the line with the 1-and-1. He hits the first.
And he's been very dependable this first half, playing well on both ends, Brewster has been.
Yeah, he started the season not getting a whole lot of minutes and then worked his way into being a valuable guy off the bench. Now he's a starter, having started, I believe, the last 6 or 7 games. That's Bybee just going a little too crazy. Loses the ball into the hands of Morgan. Morgan slows it down. Towns are going to drive, put up the shot. It goes in, but they're not going to let that continuation go. Again, NBA, that would have been well within continuation. So that's now Brown's third foul. So he's the only player for either team now with 3 fouls. So since that foul was not a continuation, obviously on the floor, so Jack Townsend at the line with a 1-and-1. He hits the first.
Looks like the Cougars are going to rest Musa for the rest of the first half here, Jeff.
Not a bad move. You got an 11-point lead, only 2 minutes to go. He has the 2 fouls. You'd like to keep him around, so if you can, keep him on the bench. Let these guys do their thing. Jack Townsend does miss the second, 75% free throw shooter on the season. Townsend playing some good defense there, although he kind of, nice play by Townsend. Kind of the cardinal rule, though, never save the ball under the opponent's basket.
I don't think I've ever seen an offense like Edgewood's, Jeff. I'm thinking about calling it shock and awe. I have no other way to describe it.
Yeah, on their end, I think it's shock and awe.
That was really awesome, and if we could bottle that up and just capture that for the rest of this telecast, I'd really appreciate that.
Well, I'll try. That was, again, Chayton Howard hitting his first free throw.
But to get back to that shock and awe, I kid, but I don't see anything of organization. I think there's rip and grip.
Which is kind of interesting.
Or grip and rip.
Yeah. Edgewood known for being a solid fundamental squad. You think they would run a lot of set things, but you're right. There's just not much to it. Tim Brewster, they're going to call an offensive foul. I got to tell you, Tim didn't hit him with enough power to knock him over.
From my vantage point, which is not the clearest, but it's clear enough, I think there was still some movement down there, although he might have been in the restricted zone.
Yeah, I think Tim, when he came down, brushed him, but the guy, did a nice job of acting and got the foul and possibly the Oscar nomination. Spin move there by Jace Collar, but they're going to call travel on that one.
And a spin move by the ref to indicate that was a traveling call.
Yeah, little dance move there.
Little dance move with the hands.
Yeah. So 9-point game, 1:15 left in the second quarter. Cougars seem in control. They've had this situation before in the season where they've been ahead by a decent amount and then things kind of slip away. Let's see what happens. Like to see him keep the pressure on but take good shots. Jack Townsend kind of a floating to his left three-pointer, no good. I know Jack thinks he can hit any shot as long as he's in the gym, but
didn't seem like that was much of a good shot choice, though.
Not really in the flow of the offense. Nice move there by Chayton Howard, able to get Townsend up in the air. Obviously a size mismatch there, too. Going basically about 6 feet against 6'5".
The Cougars maybe run a little clock here, see if they decide to wait for the last shot.
Coach Hodgson, typical strategy, anytime it's under 45 seconds is to go for the last shot. So he is looking right now at that possibility. We do have a 7-point lead for the Cougars, so it'd be great to go with 9, even 10-point lead. And if they hold for the last shot, probably no chance for Edgewood.
Edgewood switching to man now. See if that causes any difference for him. Or for us, rather.
Right. Cougars, I think, have recognized that. David going to now drive up. Nice ball handling, kind of circus shot up there. No good, but no damage against them. So we're going to see here at halftime, Cougars with a 7-point lead. They've had a bigger lead than that. I think it's high as 11. Now it's at 7. Again, I agree. I don't think I've seen Edgewood in an offense yet.
Yeah, as you said, they are known around the area for being the big fundamental, and not sure what's going on. Perhaps losing their point guard early has caused something. Keto. Thank you. Keto, as in the
option
diet,
3,
as in the diet.
Yeah.
Keto. Yes. But losing Keto seems to have caused some stress in the offense.
Right. I mean, that's another thing. You lose that, which seems to me, I think, their point guard. Lose him, and that's your court general is going to take its toll. Got the Cougar pep band. Almost all of them, I'm sure, in the marching band. What you're seeing right now, the competitive cheer team is going to do their routine, but in order to do so, they've got to bring mats out onto the court
And I believe a shout out for the competitive cheer team. They're headed to Florida, if I'm not mistaken, next week for the Nationals.
I believe they head down to the high school national competition down there where
In Clearwater, Florida? Does that sound right? Orlando? It's
I
Orlando.
think it's Orlando. I think they go to Disney,
There it is, yeah.
which they have to raise a lot of money to get themselves down there, but the girls do it. So we're going to sign off here. We'll let you enjoy the cheerleading routine without our expert commentary, having no clue what would make a good cheerleading routine for myself. So once again, we've got a 7-point ball game here in this cross-county matchup. Edgewood about 10 miles at most up the road. And so anything you want to add before we go to half?
I don't think so. I think you're the Cougars. You feel pretty good about your first half. Maybe not the most composed first half, but you got the lead. You're Edgewood. You don't feel good at all about your offense, but you feel pretty good about the things you're building on defense. That's a lot you can build on in the second half. So should be a good one.
So we shall see what happens in the second half of these two pretty evenly matched teams. Both can shoot, and that means anything can happen. So we'll come back without a minute left in halftime. Enjoy the half, enjoy the cheerleading show, and we'll be back. All right, we're back for second half action. Cougars with that 7-point lead as we head in. The once again competition cheer team going at halftime. They're going to be heading down to Florida, I believe, next week for their nationals competition. Then we've got now Kelly Smith making an announcement about BHSN TV. I'd say it does. We're just looking at possibly, if you want to describe what we're seeing across the way, we think.
Well, it seems to be, Mr. Aiken, I got a hot tip at halftime about the possibility of there being Butler's coach here. Chris Holtman looks like he's in the crowd this evening.
I would say, I'm assuming he's here looking at Musa Jallo. He may be looking at Cooper Bybee as well.
Well, he might be looking at the talent that's announcing the game tonight for the Butler Radio Network.
That is a possibility as well. But, I got to think, I've never thought about this. I think Musa Jallo would fit right in with Butler. Not to go off script too much here, Mr. Aiken, but Butler seems to be slipping into the role of Team of Indiana. They sure have had quite a run going, and I do think Musa, with his athletic play and pretty good student in the classroom too, I think he would fit right in at Butler. So, with that situation going on here in the Cougar Den, Cougars now is Musa Jallo taking a three-pointer to start the shooting here in the second half. Does miss. Back down the other way, Joe Quito gets himself underneath the basket off to Howard. Howard drives in and able to convert. Logan Calvin back in the game, and Logan hasn't been on the court for quite a while, and it kind of showed there. Jallo able to try to get out from underneath. Ball tipped away by Cameron Bannister. So Cougars will have the ball in the corner. Sean Rudder going to inbound. He finds Tim Brewster in the backcourt. Brewster looking in. Cougars trying to get set up. Again, starting lineup back on the court. Hasn't been a while. As Jallo again, long three-pointer. I've got to say, Moose is a heck of a player, but when he starts launching out three-pointers that are out of the sequence of the offense, it's no benefit to the Cougars. Bybee unable to convert for the
Bybee picking up where he left off in the first half.
Yeah.
Just throwing it anywhere.
Kind of just his style of play is quite
the old gunslinger.
The gunslinger. There you go. That is a perfect description. There, Jallo able to, within the offense, hit a little 8-footer there to get the Cougars on the board for the second half. Bybee gets it across to Quito. Bybee again. He's going to take that three, and this time he hits.
Shoot early, shoot often, just like you vote in Chicago.
Shooter's mentality. That is true. Underneath with Musa Jallo.
Shout out to Mr. Abel for getting us waters. That's very nice of him.
Mr. Abel,
I love that.
Another teacher here getting us some water, which is much needed. Cougar's going to call a timeout with Tim Brewster on the court, having corralled the ball. So Cougar timeout.
Well, we've let our video club know of the developing Chris Holtman situation, and we might be getting a shot here or there, but file that under mildly interesting, Mr. Aiken.
And eagle eye on your part for seeing him across the court.
Well, success only comes with good spotters here, Mr. Aiken. Got a text message from Mrs. Courtney Leonard, and she seemed to be the one with the eagle eye. So
okay.
all due praise goes to her.
All right, little multimedia going on here.
Yes, indeed. Well, Cougars, it seems like we're stalemating right now. Not much to really speak of here these first couple moments of the second half, so let's see where this next stretch takes us. We thought they'd coming out and be slinging it, and they have. They've
been slinging it, but just not making much with it. 1 point change in our score from halftime. Edgewood taking a point off so far of the Cougar lead. Musa Jallo again for the corner. This time he hits with the three.
Moose is showing off right now. He's playing a big man's game. I said that once already, but he's definitely doing it.
He can definitely hit those shots again. I just think it needs to be part of the offense for it to work for the Cougars. Quito out to Bannister. Bannister with a three. He's no good. Logan Calvin with the rebound. Kind of forgot about Logan Calvin after being on the bench so long. Now once again, Jallo, but he's feeling it.
He's on fire officially. That's 3 in a row, and the Cougar crowd knows it.
That prompts a timeout by head coach J.B. Neal for the Mustangs.
He just took over. There's no defense that's really stopping him right now, and I don't really think it's in the flow of our offense. I think it's just let's let the plays give it to Musa.
Well, definitely he's now hit on the last two, so it's one of those things when it's working, hey, way to go, but when it's not working, it can be some empty possessions for the Cougars when it's a quick shot from outside.
Keto seems to be running the offense pretty well. Whatever he had the first half seems to be shaking off.
He does seem to be a stabilizing force. Again, we commented quite a bit in the first half that they really never seem to get into an offense per se, but with him out there, they are putting a little more at it. However, Cougars with those 2 3-pointers from Musa Jallow have now jumped it to a 12-point lead, 43-31, 5:23 to go in the third. Once again, we're happy to be here on a rare Thursday night game. The reason for the Thursday night game, the girls sectional is going on. Game started on Tuesday around the state. Going to have semifinals and finals in most places going on tomorrow and Saturday. I know the girls, North girls, are going to head to Columbus North to take on, I believe, Columbus East in their matchup. Columbus East able to knock off Bloomington South. Tim Brewster able to get his leg in the way of that pass.
I didn't even see the number, but I was about to say that seems like that was Brewster, and it was indeed. Didn't even have to look.
Yeah, he's a really quick defender, gets in the way, able to keep up with Keto.
And he's got 3 more years here.
Should be a fun thing to watch as Tim Brewster develops over those 3 years.
Excellent trap by the Cougars.
That's Brewster again, able to knock the ball away into the hands of Jallow. Then Jallow fouled pretty much at half court. That's got to be something that drives coaches crazy, fouls that far from the basket.
It's unbelievable. And my fur is getting a little bit up over here, and I can't imagine the coaches down there. That's a careless foul, absolutely careless.
It just seems such a silly mistake because you're not stopping them from doing anything at that point. Foul should be much closer to the basket than that far away. Rudder able to drive in.
Yeah, that was not going anywhere.
Knocked away by Chayton Howard.
Little hopeful from Sean Rudder. That was optimistic.
Not sure with the over and back call with the fact that the Cougars never seem to have possession after the block shot. However, officials are going to agree that the Mustangs will have the ball. So it doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what the referees think.
Keto with some excellent ball handling until he ran into Sean Rudder.
Yeah, he just got a little too much traffic there. Rudder, beautiful pass to Tim Brewster.
What a look. Rudder just, man, on a laser gets that in there.
And a nice job by Brewster to quickly realize exactly where he was. He was under the basket, but able to get it up and around and in. There's Bybee from the corner. No good. There's no doubt that without Bybee clicking, the Mustangs are going to struggle.
And that's the first great shot I've seen Bybee take all night. That was actually had some great ball movement, extra pass made, just couldn't connect. But
right, was actually close to the three-point line, not 4 or 5 feet behind it.
Edgewood, they get semi-composed. It's good. Now down 14 here. They got to really look into getting a couple good buckets here, and they got to get a good stop here on defense if they're going to.
Yeah, hard to believe that composure is going to come while they're down 14.
Ooh.
Risky pass. And Tim Brewster from the corner.
That's a third 3 of the night for him.
Picking up where he was hitting from the corner in the first half. So now all of a sudden, 17-point game. And sloppy passes again. Liam Wilkerson knocks it away to Jallow. Jallow going to kind of circus shot at himself, but fouled in the act of shooting.
Yeah, Jeff, you said earlier tonight when Jallow's on, everything's in slow motion, and it really looked like that there. Either he's significantly better or taller than everyone else, or everything I'm seeing is moving in slow motion because that was a big man's play there.
That really was. I mean, he just gets the ball and things seem so natural, smooth, and just being a bigger presence, it just the scale of things seems a little different. If I can use maybe a math term. With
I think that worked. The ratios were all in proportion.
The ratios were there, yeah.
There it is.
So Bannister down to 12. Let me get Curtis Cowden as number 12. That's Bybee. Bannister down into Jace Collier, and a whistle blows as the shot put up by Jason Brown way after the whistle.
Well, Press is taking them out of their offense. Now, they don't have a shot clock to really worry about, but they do have a 18-point deficit to be concerned with at this point. So if you're the Cougars, you got to look, keep on going on with that press. That's taking them out of their element right now.
Yeah, the more time the Cougars can make the Mustangs waste with that. Yeah, the pressure now is that 18-point deficit. Cougar substitution, Ethan Wenzel into the game.
Man.
I think we're going to call him being on the end line when he was reaching in there. Or, well, we've got a foul. A foul on Ethan Wenzel, I guess.
If I can brag on Tim Brewster again, that was, if you didn't see that at home, that was one heck of an individual defensive effort. Just got in the way of two Mustangs and just poked the ball out and caused that whole sequence to happen. Just what a heck of a half and a game by Brewster.
You know, and he's spending a lot of time on Bybee, and we've said Bybee just hasn't gotten
Brewster
his
wide
Brewster
open. There it is.
All by himself, able to put it in, and a foul. Yet another silly foul there. That's another thing. Fouls away from the basket. There's no sense. A foul after the guy's already made the basket. What's the point?
Yeah, Brewster had a chance to set up a tent down there underneath the basket. He was waiting there for so long. I was wondering they were going to get it to him, but Edgewood rewards him for camping by fouling him on the way up. So
yeah, he was up, the ball out of his hand, almost even going through the basket when the foul was committed. Silly foul on Cooper Bybee, and that's his third. He's having a bit of a struggle this evening.
Bybee's all over the place, and it makes sense that he was the one that committed that foul.
Bannister gets it off to Cowden. Cowden no good. Jallow skies the rebound, but comes down. When you go up that high, that's a long way to fall. Bybee going to put up a three. It is no good. Calvin tipping it into Brewster.
Bybee
up to Jallow. Oh, and that should be an intentional, and it is.
That's a.
You know, definitely a play right there where intentional foul, no doubt, but very nice to see Jason Brown, who committed that foul, immediately goes to Musa Jallow, telling him, hey, that is probably not what he had in mind when he did that.
That could have been, folks, that could have been a lot worse than what that was right there. And any kind of more intent there on the Mustangs, that could have been bad.
Yeah, there's no doubt they were beaten. I don't know that Jallow was going to be able to do anything with that ball if he got it even cleanly, but Brown then comes in with the foul. Good sportsmanship, though, after the fact.
Yes, that was not intentional, folks. That was just
right.
Two guys playing hard, and things happen.
The intentional foul, because he was not going for the ball in any way whatsoever, but no intent to hurt or anything like that. That is Brown's fourth foul, so he will most likely be out for quite a while here with just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cougars have now opened up a 23-point lead.
Yeah, this is blowing open real quick here. Last 3 minutes have been kind for the Cougars, and Edgewood's not seeing any buckets down there. Real
Jallow
big drought.
Able to find a way to the basket, but gets fouled. Yeah, Edgewood definitely a little shell-shocked here. We talked about how a few minutes ago on Game Time that it had only been Edgewood had taken a point off the halftime lead, and now all of a sudden it's 23 with a chance to add to it.
It's real quick. Well, it's no secret. It happened when Musa started that first bucket, and it's continuing with the free throws right now.
So 24 points. Jallow with a chance to add one more. He does. So it is a 25-point lead now for the Cougars. Edgewood's going to have to find a way to figure out this press and get points on the board quickly.
Well, it's too bad we put the defense on Bybee there. He's probably going to shoot it.
Yeah, Tim Brewster was the defender there, kind of reach in. Going to be his second foul. Pretty much Cougars just can stay active, but they don't need to press too much on defense with this big lead.
Especially with the shots Edgewood are taking. These are not great shots.
However,
well, that went in. That was a great shot, evidently on cue.
That was a nice shot there by Howard. However, Logan Calvin, I mean, he was standing straight up. He was guilty of just being there. He didn't do anything to try to foul, but gets the call, his third.
Refs are calling that one kind of close tonight. That's the second one I remember that contact minimal. We're still going to give you the and one.
Yeah, so Howard does convert. Three-point play the old-fashioned way. Jallow quickly up the floor into the hands of Morgan. Tried to get it back to Jallow. Jallow able to run it down.
Jallow with the excellent save on that one. That was a level-headed play.
Yeah, Morgan a little out of control, but he's going to put up a three from the corner. And he hits kind of a knuckleball. There wasn't a lot of rotation on that shot, but it went in, so doesn't matter. Bybee kind of lowered his shoulder there on Brewster. Brewster, though, picks his pocket in the hands of Calvin. Calvin going to take it all his way, and he takes it in for the 2.
Now the Cougars are getting dangerous, almost up 30 now, and man, Bybee almost with another turnover. That was close.
That was kind of that was one of those things that looked like it might have been a foul. I don't think it was, but the referee decided it was. But I think that was the case of Bybee just being out of control and too many defenders around to knock a ball away.
Well, right now Edgewood's out of control, Jeff, and they got to be very careful here. Almost down 30. If they have any glimmer of hope here to come back, it's got to come within the next 2.
But a foul is called going the other way.
Well, the illegal screen, I believe, yes.
Looks like this is going to be on number 22, Jace Collier.
I think he had a moving pick there and was not in place.
Yeah, that really unfortunate for the Mustangs. They've got to get as many good possessions as they can strung together to put something up on the board, and Cougars are just going to keep pulling away if they have empty possessions like that. David Morgan, nice step-up shot just inside the 3. That was pretty play by David Morgan.
Yeah, excellent recognition by Morgan. He had they were clearing out, and his defender was at least 3 feet off him, so he just took the open shot.
Nice pass inside, but Jallo blocks it. I think this is going to go on Jallo.
Well, if you're Chris Holtman from Butler, you got to like the fact you see the handprint that's up there above the square, Jeff. So he definitely can jump.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Musa Jallo can get up. He's had some block shots that have been pretty darn impressive, almost getting his hand up close to the top of the backboard. Unable to convert on that first free throw, Jace Collier, and not happy about it.
Frustration setting in. They know it. You can't get 30 points back in one bucket, though. They just got to do a lot of small things.
Yeah, they've got to just try to do anything they can to put some possessions together. That would have been a nice one. And they end up getting 0 points out of it. David Morgan from the pass from Jallo. Morgan going to kick it out to Jack Townsend. Jack loses possession on the way up. Kind of surprised Jack didn't take the 3, but he didn't.
And Bybee
again. Yeah.
Well, you know, fouls happen sometimes,
Yep.
and that was one of them. That was just Musa being a little aggressive past fact.
Yeah, he jumped to try to block. When he landed, he was going to be where Bybee was coming down, and Bybee hit him, went down. So we're going to get a 3 free throw shots here, since he was in the act of shooting a 3. Bybee able to complete the first one.
Well, Bybee's a high average guy normally, and he's in the 23, 24 point range. But tonight, it just seemed, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Seems to be the mantra. You
do wonder. I mean, this is a county game, so these guys are probably quite familiar with each other, playing against each other over the years. You just wonder, maybe Bybee put a little pressure on himself. He definitely has not seemed to be fully on. I do not know how many points he has total, but it's quite a bit under his average, I would think. Sean Rudder working against Kito. So, yeah, Quito. Not sure. I can see maybe the Edgewood fans being a little upset on that, because Quito did kind of get pushed back a little bit, but it was because his aggressiveness being up on Rudder that caused the foul. Rudder hits the first of the 1-on-1. Both teams into the single bonus right now. Cougars keeping that lead between 25 and 30 points. He misses the second. So we are sitting on a 27-point lead for the Cougars. Quito.
If Edgewood's going to do it, they got to take full control when Moose is out of the game. Seems to be that this is the time, and they're only going to get a minute of it too. I think he's going to come back right in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think this is the old coach's ploy of taking the break here a minute or so before the quarter break, then getting the full quarter break for your player to get some rest. One thing the Cougars just did there, though, committing fouls, you got to think Cougars with this big lead, there's no need to foul. Even if Edgewood scores, the big lead is enough to not be in jeopardy right now. However, stop the clock and letting them score is not a good idea. Keto does hit both. So Cougars going to try to get it up. Edgewood putting some pressure on. Keto working on David Morgan, but David able to break across the midcourt line. Tim Brewster now. Little play there where Jack Townsend runs through the lane and then Brewster kind of follows.
It's a great motion there by the Cougars that last possession. Well, the current possession, as it were, but you know that was one thing they weren't doing in the first half, and they're definitely doing now. That was very strong movement on the Cougar offense.
Yeah, they run that play where Townsend just runs through the lane, and then Brewster kind of follows as Edgewood's attention seemed to be on Townsend. Brewster misses the front end of the 1-and-1, however. Just under 40 seconds to go. Keto dribbles in. Nice pass, though, by Keto to Jace Collier for 2.
Great recognition by Keto. He really got in and found the open guy.
Yet again, I get where Keto has to be a fan favorite over at Edgewood. He just absolutely has to be. I get where they're upset that he's now committed his 4th foul, but how can he be backpedaling and sliding over, and they think that's not going to be called a foul?
Well, for many of you at home, this might be the first time you've heard keto being a fan favorite, because that's the diet without carbs, I believe. And paleo is the one that's the diet with the animal fat.
Oh, well, this is a different situation.
This is a much different situation at home.
Well, that was the case. Bybee trying to just draw a foul by doing a jump and throw the ball, but Brewster able to knock it away, and the referees had none of the theatrics.
In all seriousness, though, Mr. Aiken, I think it's just frustration setting in on the fans, and you know you want the calls to go your way, and when they don't, it's it's insult.
Now that situation there, Liam Wilkerson's feet get tied up with Keto. Keto goes down. Keto, he's a tough guy. He's been on the floor a lot.
Scrappy.
Again, bit banged up in the first quarter. Has come back to play, but does have those 4 fouls. As the clock is winding down, Cougars yet again committing a foul.
I didn't see who that was on. Did you, Jeff?
No, I'm going
Was that 23? Was that Brewster?
No, number 3, David Morgan. Only his first, but again, with a huge lead, there is 0 need to be committing fouls.
Yeah, this just stops the clock. You don't like what points on the border when the clock is stopped.
Bannister, a 62% free throw shooter, but he hits the first. Both teams in the double bonus, and we're not even to the 4th quarter yet. He hits both. Cougars with 4 seconds get the ball in the hands of David Morgan. He roars up the court. Going to put up a 3, but it is short. So, end of the 3rd, you now have a 21-point lead for the Cougars. It was as high as, I believe, 27. Again, both teams going to be in the double bonus from here on out. Really, that was an interesting quarter where the Cougars started out first minute or two. Again, Edgewood had pulled 1 point or shaved 1 point off that lead, and then a couple threes by Musa Jallo, and boom, the Cougars were on a roll.
Yeah, no response really, and Edgewood didn't really have any concerted way to stop it. They threw all they could out there. I didn't see them switching out of zone. They never changed it to man or anything, and they stayed in the vanilla defense. We took advantage of it.
I think they recognize that if they try to go man-to-man, there's too many matchups that the Cougars can exploit. But then again, if one thing's not working, try something else.
Now, one thing I noticed that still has been just befuddling Edgewood this 3rd quarter, and hopefully in the 4th, is our zone. It's not a strong zone. Forgive me, our full court press, excuse me, Jeff. It seems to be we're trapping, causing a lot of stress on the sidelines, and as a result, they're not getting down the floor and getting what they want, and they know time's running down, so they're getting less than optimal shots.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more of a disruptive thing. Not really, Cougars aren't getting a lot of steals out of the press, but they are causing a lot of disruption that transfers then over to the half-court game, and Edgewood just seems pretty frazzled even, after getting the ball across half court. Nice play there by David Morgan, anticipating the pass up and in for the layup.
That's one heck of a play. David Morgan just showing why hard work pays off. I mean, he's everywhere.
He is only a sophomore. Tough scoop shot there. We Notice Musa Jallo not in the lineup as we start the fourth quarter, but really no need to with a 23-point advantage right now.
And Cougars look content to just kind of slow down the pace a little bit here, take what's given to them, and find your best shot.
Really, with this big of a lead, there's no need to force anything at all. Just keep working the basketball. Eventually, a good shot will come open. Edgewood trying to kind of force the issue, bringing the defense out farther and farther. That's Morgan. Morgan really quite the ability to exploit just any small lane that he sees.
Well, Morgan got bailed out a little bit on that one, to be honest. But, you know, as you said, up almost 20, 25 here. Just trying to get a shot off and get the best one he can. That might not have been the best, but we're at the free throw line.
Oh, he does miss the first, however. A couple substitutions. Keita coming back in for Edgewood, as well as number 12, Curtis Cowden. Morgan hits the second. Keita going to bring it up.
Keita's running fast.
Boy, he had a lane, and he just kept going until anyone was going to get in his way. Nice scoop pass there. Jace Collier converts. I would still contend, even if the Edgewood comes down and does that every time, they're not going to get enough points to make a difference as long as the Cougars do be patient and get good shots and keep scoring points at their end. Edgewood needs a whole lot of stops going on.
Yeah, they have to have a lot go right to get a comeback.
Logan Calvin going to dribble out to the top, hands it off to Jack Townsend. Townsend going to take a three. Again, Townsend thinks the gymnasium is his range.
You said that in the first half, and I almost believed you, and then I saw him take that shot, and that's a trend.
He, again, he can shoot. I believe he had a game down in Evansville where he had 12 three-pointers. When he is hot, it is something else. Now, having a game like that as a freshman, other schools are going to have some scouting reports and figure out that you can shoot and start putting solid defenders on you.
Yeah, but play devil's advocate. Why would you take a three right now? Just run four corners, get out of the gym.
Very true. Really not a necessary thing, not in the offense. But Townsend, a freshman, probably doesn't really see the game that way. He saw his opportunity to put up his shot.
Fair point.
It is one of those things with high school sports. At the end of the day, you are working with anywhere from 14 to 18-year-old kids, and they're going to do their own thing sometimes. David working on getting inside. Going to have a timeout called by Coach Hodson. Probably a smart move as David Morgan was in a bit of trouble down low by the basket.
Well, when we're in the half court, Edgewood really is a strong D, and I've noticed that this entire game. You know, when they're set and they're doing their thing, they're tough to get past, and they make you take low percentage shots. I mean, that's what a zone is designed to do. Now, to our end, we've been making them, and we've had a lot of excellent individual efforts, especially that by Musa Jallo. But overall, you know, it's a little bit unlucky, but, you know, they've stayed the course of their defense tonight.
Well, and there's no doubt that Edgewood's defense is skilled at keeping well, I shouldn't say skilled because we have 67 points, but they are effective a lot of the time keeping players from getting to the basket. But at this point, down by 22 points, they need steals.
They're just not making shots, Jeff. I mean, that's what's coming down to. I mean, I hate to be like the announcer cliche, but they're just not scoring more points than what we are.
Right.
I mean, we've been a little bit on level, more balanced on our end, but they're just not going down for the Mustangs.
Logan Calvin tried to do a bit of an awkward shot underneath.
Oh, that was a terrible pass.
But then Edgewood throws the ball away.
Bailed out by an optimistic up court, and it's coming our way again.
I mean, that is the thing with, again, Edgewood's doing a solid job of impeding our progress to the basket, but our goal right now really isn't scoring points. Edgewood's enemy right now is the clock. They've got to turn up the aggressiveness and get some steals and get their own possessions where they can score, and hopefully on their end heat up to make some baskets. Jack Townsend able to dribble in, working against Curtis Cowden. Now that's David Morgan. David, that's steps right there.
Yeah, Coach Hodson, he's throwing up the Y hands. Didn't need to do that. I think he's coming out. Yeah, I think he's putting in rudder for him. think he's going to talk to Morgan on the sidelines, talk to him about what that was all about, and if I can read sign language, it's an exercise in a lesson learned.
It sure seemed like Coach Hodson was mimicking the move that David Morgan did, and not in a flattering way. Bybee able to drive in and get the basket yet again. A Cougar foul. Clock stops and a chance for the Mustangs to add one more point with the clock stop.
Bybee tonight doing his best Carmelo Anthony impersonation. Seems to be the offense is going to run through 14, and if it's not in Keto's hands, it's in Bybee's hands, and he's taking as many as he can. Again,
Bybee with a scoring average of 23.6. The next closest person, Chayton Howard, 11.6. So more than double the next guy's scoring average. So yeah, I think offense for Edgewood is going to go through Bybee. He's just had an off night, and it really hasn't worked out for him. Haven't even seen Musa Jallo this quarter. Maybe needing a well-deserved rest here late in the season in a midweek game. So Jack Townsend kicks it to Liam Wilkerson, who gets it back out to Sean Rudder to reset.
This is a good pace from the Cougars. They don't have to be flashy. They just got to get some time off the clock.
Yeah, really not scoring is not a problem for the Cougars at this point. Jack Townsend, yep. Boy, you saw that, kind of gave that forearm right into number 4, Tate Balcom.
Oh, I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. I think that was a play on, but I see the refs are calling it really tight
right
tonight, and to their effort, it's been the same both ways.
There's no doubt the forearm was up. How much force was applied, it can be debated, but that is something that really does look awkward, and it's probably going to get called more often than not.
Yeah, you can't throw a forearm out there in any way, intent or not.
So Musa Jallo into the game. His defense caused the Mustang player, I believe Tate Balcom, he was too close to the sideline and stepped right on it. So Jallo brings the ball up, sets. We are just now under 4 minutes to go. Cougar lead is now 19. Still in no jeopardy of being anything to be stressed about. Sean Rudder kicking it out now to Brewster, to Jallo. Jallo getting a pick from Rudder. It's a good job, really. There was no shot there, so didn't even take a look.
Looks like we're playing a little game of left to right now around the arc, as we should be. No need to spike the football here, so to speak.
Right, it is your county rival. No need to overdo it.
Take your best shot if it's available, and if not, just be content to see some time slip off the clock.
So we're approaching now 3 minutes to go. This possession taking a minute off the clock on its own. Jallo drives in, but content to bring it back out. Going to go to work again. Jumps up. Kicks. Smart play there by Logan Calvin. He was about to grab it, realized that the deflection was on the Mustangs. And ball goes out of bounds for the Cougars.
Well, it's good recognition, too. And that's what we were aching for them to do all night, was to drive and kick. Musa recognized it. When we're up, maybe not necessary, but lessons learned.
That's what, most of high school basketball is about, is just learning those lessons to hopefully apply to the next time. As we're getting close to the end of the season, sectionals coming up in a couple of weeks. Sectionals are going to be right here in the Cougar Den for the Cougars. The sectional they're in, I think it's sectional 14, but I have nothing to back that up with.
I couldn't tell you unless I went to my phone, so we'll just say I agree with you.
It's in the teens. I know that. Tim Brewster, shot fake, but no intention of shooting. Now approaching 2 minutes. So this possession right here going to now having eaten up about 2 minutes. Again, Edgewood working hard, doing a great job, but they're not getting any closer on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, the outcome's not in doubt. And I think the Mustangs know it, too. I think we're just playing this one out. So North's going to go to 8-7. That's it's a nice, above 500 record going into sectionals. Good confidence builder. See how deep of a run they can make. Unsure of our sectional opponents, Mr. Aiken. Do you have a read on that?
In our section or the crosstown rivals, Bloomington South. We then have the two Columbus schools, Columbus North, Columbus East, Shelbyville, who was added to the sectional, I believe, within the last 5 years. And then, oddly enough, in the Bloomington sectional is a team called East Central, who is right near the Ohio border next to Cincinnati. It is one of those situations, there are no 5A schools anywhere near them. And so what happens is, the logic was, and this has been our sectional now for going on about 15 years, I believe, was to put East Central in with the Columbus schools, but the Columbus schools are in with the Bloomington schools. So it's happened numerous times where Bloomington North and Bloomington South, the two teams that are farthest away from East Central, have played sectional games in multiple sports 2.5 hours away. It is one of those strange things in the IHSAA where it's really possible for our school to travel farther, if not even twice as far for our sectional as we would for our regional.
Well, that's just maybe some college logic trickling down to the high school level. There's no reason why Rutgers should be a Big Ten school, but here we are. Rutgers being in, Big 14.
Big 14, exactly. I was going to
like
say there's no logic in there being 14 teams in the Big Ten either.
Well, you want to see the best kids play the best kids in any sport,
and so
an hour away, 2 hours away. You hate to see, especially high school kids, traveling that distance.
Right. I know as a softball coach had run into the situation where we were hosting a sectional here. East Central traveled all the way over here and then watched it rain from their bus and then turned around and went back home only to have to come back the next day. Not a good thing for high school kids.
Subs look to be in here, Jeff. And
yeah, we got Nick Dolson there with the ball off to Kobe Davis. Sean Rudder still on the court, the only starter. Senior kind of field court general, I should say. Davis kind of drives in. That's Dolson again. Other players in the game, Noah Spencer, number 43, and Sam Weeger, number 10. Sam, one of 3 brothers going to North right now.
The Weeger clan. One of them, I believe, running Video Club. Yes.
That's right.
The oldest.
The oldest, Max. Younger brother, I believe, Colin, but I could be wrong on that.
Weeger family affair.
So Sean Rudder going to be called for stepping on the baseline. But pretty good job of the Cougars to run a whole lot of clock off in the fourth quarter. Edgewood, like you said, seemed pretty content to just let it happen. I think they turned it into an exercise of just playing defense and working hard. They knew they were not going to come back to this deficit and erase it. So got some good work done. Edgewood going to work now. Number 30, that's Skylar Curtis. He gets it. That's 40. Houston Holmes. 3-point attempt and made by number 12, Curtis Cowden.
Yeah, I'll pad the stat sheets. Club 3 trillion, not Club 1 trillion.
That's right.
13 trillion. 1 minute, 3 points.
All right. Quite the average. So Cougars able to hold on. They do end up winning by 16. It really was a case where that third quarter, halftime lead for the Cougars was 7. No doubt they outplayed the Mustangs in the first half. 7-point lead seemed kind of even small for how the two teams played. But man, that third quarter, those 2 3-pointers by Musa Jallo, and then the Cougars were on a roll.
Well, and in so many words, as much as one person can decide, Musa just said, "This is our game, and we're going to win." And he literally hit everything, could not miss, and they couldn't stop him.
Right, and the 2 possessions, couple possessions before that, he missed some 3-pointers, but then when he hit them, that really changed the game around, and the Cougars just pulled away. It definitely seems that the rest of the Cougars go as Musa goes. When he is doing well, they're going to do well. I still maintain when he is not the focal point, though, he can be drawing a lot of attention, which just opens it up. But when he's the only option, the Cougars are going to struggle. When he's a option, they're going to do well.
And be remiss if I didn't say some great efforts tonight from other Cougars. Tim Brewster, the freshman, the wily freshman out there on the floor, hitting shots, playing some excellent defense. Also, Liam Wilkerson doing the same thing, scrapping. And you have to you hate to say it in a negative way, but you like your role players getting a lot of action, a lot of good education, and hopefully in sectionals that's going to be something that serves us well.
Well, it is definitely one of those things where role players, if they're doing their job, it's great. Make an analogy to, if you've got a play and everybody's got a part to play in a theater play, but if they all do it well, it's a great show. In sports, same deal. You've got role players who know everyone's not going to be the star, but if you've got a situation where everyone can do their job, it's going to be successful for the team. And the Cougars, when all cylinders are clicking and doing their job, we had multiple guys hitting three-point shots. We had good, solid defense. We had good play on offense, getting the ball up the court. In all those instances, all it did translate into was an impressive game, a 16-point win that was not that close.
And didn't really deserve to be after that third quarter. So excellent performance by the Cougars this evening. Look forward to sectionals and hopefully regionals and beyond.
That would be nice. Cougars have a few more games left, I know. But we'll wrap this one up. Cougars, a 67-51 victory here on a Thursday night as we head into girls sectional play. Again, that third quarter is I'm just kind of speechless about how they were able to really pull away with that third quarter. So any more final thoughts as we close up?
Not that I have. It was excellent to call the game with you, Jeff. This is the one substitute game that I had this year for basketball. Football's more my thing, but this is a heck of a lot of fun calling it with you, and I really enjoyed it.
Glad to have you. I've done the games and had, I think now that you're my fourth partner of the year doing basketball, but always enjoyable to do. And again, an excellent job by those Bloomington High School North BHSN TV crew and everything, who I think they're looking at us wishing we'd shut up so they could go home. So we're going to wrap it up. And be done. So thank you very much for watching BHSN TV. Cougars win 67-51.
And now for War and Peace.
Yes.